Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading for April 11th to the 17th. We're going to be taking a look into the energies of the mind, body, and spirit, as well as relationships, with a closing message from the universe. Please remember that these are general readings, so they may not resonate with everyone, but I do suggest to check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs as well. Also, if they do resonate and you'd like to have a personal reading, you can contact me at oracleintuitions.com. So for this reading, we're actually going to go into a bit deeper with the relationship after the general reading. So we're going to be doing the general reading first and then the relationship reading right after. So if you don't want to hear the general reading, that's perfectly fine. I did put a timeline underneath in regards to where you can just, skip through and go straight to relationships if you prefer, or you can watch the whole reading, and because sometimes the two do tie in together. So let's get into it and see what's coming through for Capricorn. Also, don't forget our live shows are on Wednesdays at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, and this is where we do live readings on YouTube. So make sure that you've, click subscribe. Also, hit the notification bell because this way you will get notified when we do go live. We do try to keep them on Wednesdays, but sometimes it could be Thursdays that, if we just have personal commitments or whatever. So, sometimes we do move it to another day. So again, having the notification bell on will help you with that. And click like for the video if it does resonate with you, because it really does help with the algorithm and it really does help other people to see the video. All right, so let's get into it. Let's see what's happening for you Capricorns. Let's see what's coming through. For the mind, we have the second chakra, Angel Ariel. Ooh, we've got a whole stuff going on here. We have the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron, and from Spirit, we have strategy. Interesting. We have a lot of Archangel energy that's really coming through here. And I actually find that, I do find that really interesting, simply because, usually, we can go through a whole reading and not get an Archangel card, but here we go, right? We've got two of them coming through. So, the second chakra really talks about the secret chakra, okay? And this is really about releasing, like it's about protection, it's about safety. Sometimes it may be something that you need to open up. It does feel that you may be concentrating on some sort of energy within that sacral chakra. All right. This can also have to do with our sexual energy, right? So, and again, when we talk about sexual energy, it does talk about being vulnerable. It really talks about opening up. So there, within the mind, you might be concentrating on this in some way. We're going to get some clarification to see what's happening here, but I do find this really interesting. With the sixth chakra, this is our crown chakra, and this is, Archangel Metatron coming through. And it does feel like there's some sort of energy coming in here. It's interesting because we've got the second chakra, which is, down here. We've also got the crown chakra, which is the top of our head. So it does feel like these two are connected in some way. So I'm looking forward to clarifying this just to see what's exactly going on. But from Spirit, we also have strategy. I'm really getting that for some of you, okay? I'm really hearing for some of you that what could be going on here is that Spirit has been sending you messages of some sort, okay? And, maybe you don't realize that they're from Spirit, maybe these are just things that you're thinking of or that have suddenly come to your insight in some way. But I do feel like Spirit is sending you a message in some manner, all right? And it feels as though, for some of you, it's almost like the strategy, whether this has to do with business, maybe it has to do with your career, maybe you're, making plans for something. And I feel like Spirit is guiding you here. What I'm getting here is externally, because when we talk about, this within the body, this is external energies or things that could be happening. It feels like Spirit could be sending you some sort of signs. Maybe perhaps you're seeing angel numbers that are appearing. Maybe, this could be right from Archangel Metatron himself, sending you angel numbers. But it also has to do, what I'm getting here is that for some of you, you may be scared of the messages that are coming in. Not scared in the true sense of being scared, but there may be some fear in regards to some of the messages coming through, because maybe they're things that, you've been thinking about, but you've been too scared to initiate in some way. And again, this could have to do with any aspect of your life. And I'm really getting here that you've been working on this second chakra. So this could have to do with releasing, some sort of form of vulnerability. Like maybe before you had to, you felt that you couldn't achieve something, or you couldn't move ahead, but for some reason, simply because of the fact that there was fear, or maybe you were scared to be vulnerable, you were scared to open up, or you were scared to take that that next step forward. And it feels like the three of them are really working together here, meaning that spirit is coming through with Archangel Metatron and Ariel, basically saying you can do this. You release the fear that you have in regards to whatever it is that you're trying to take a step forward towards. I feel like you're listening. Okay, I do feel that you're listening, or I do feel that you're receiving the messages. And again, you may have not quite realized where these messages were coming from. It could be from our higher self, could be from basically any universal aspect, God, angels, whatever, however you want to place it. But you're receiving these messages, and it feels like you're either about to do the work, or Spirit's asking you to start doing the work in order to receive these messages, in order to take the steps necessary, or you've already been doing these steps. So let's get some clarification and see what's happening here. Clarification for Capricorn. So let's clarify this second chakra, okay? Was there another one that turned up? No. So we have the aces, we have the Four of Swords coming through. I just want to hear what they're saying here. See, it's interesting because as I'm looking at this second chakra, and also with the Four of Swords coming through, the first message that I actually received, and I it's almost as though you're doing the work that you need to do. Okay, you're doing the work that you need to do, but are you putting it into the right direction? Okay, so sometimes, we think that we're doing the work that is necessary in order to achieve our goals, but we might not be doing the work that we're supposed to be doing, or maybe we're avoiding, doing the actual work. It's kind of like, I'm just going to give an example. So I wanted to, and this was just the first example that came through. It's sort of like maybe perhaps you want to clean something, or, organize something, or organize a room, but instead of doing that, you sort of end up getting distracted by going through the boxes that, you probably could just throw away, but you're going through every piece of paper, you're going through everything of this, but it's not really being productive in the extent that, it's not really helping. I mean, it's good to clear out that clutter, of course, but some of these things that you could get rid of, but you're kind of getting lost either down a sentimental trail, or you're doing the things that aren't particularly going to actually help in the development of something. So I feel like Spirit is saying to you with this Four of Swords, it's time to take a rest. Like doing work is great, right? But make sure the work that you're doing is actually being productive towards what it is that you're trying to heal, especially when it has to do with our own, personal security, safety. Again, it could have to do with some sort of, sexual energy of some sort, being vulnerable, right? Especially being vulnerable. And I feel like that's what Spirit's asking you right now. Are you doing the work that is absolutely necessary in regards to, to achieving this particular goal? Because again, if you're not being truly productive, it's not going to help in the long run, right? We also have for the Sixth Sense with Archangel Metatron, we have the Eight of Wands coming through. So again, I really kept getting some messages, right? I feel like messages are coming through from Metatron through that crown chakra. I love the fact that this is being presented here, because when the Eight of Wands comes through, I mean, this really talks about going the distance, right? It's talking about messages coming through. It's talk about information coming to you. It could even represent, just for some of you, Cupid's arrows, right? And, and if it does have to do with a relationship, maybe you're saying to yourself, I want to have a productive relationship, or I want to have a healthy relationship. So I'm going to do the work that is necessary. But again, if you're not really doing the work, maybe you're spending your time doing other things rather than doing the actual work that is needed. And sometimes what we need to do is do an actual deep dive into our into our inner self, into the core of who we are, and release the things that are no longer needed or necessary. But I do feel these messages are really coming through from Spirit, and especially Archangel Metatron, trying to guide you in some way. And I feel like there's a guidance that's coming through. We also have the Nine of Cups coming through. So again, it has to do with something that you're really wanting, something that you're really desiring, something that you're really wanting to achieve here. Okay. And I feel like Spirit is giving you the tools that is necessary, or the guidance that is needed towards whatever this is. But again, you have to be in a place that's going to be open to receive those messages. And I do feel like for some of you, it's time to maybe, instead of running around doing unproductive things, maybe take time to take a stop and a rest, okay? Because that Four of Swords really talks also about healing, okay? Healing energy. Healing what? Healing that sacral chakra. Healing, going in and really exploring that inner child, really exploring the things that maybe are preventing us from, creating something. It's kind of like, they sometimes say that, people are scared of success, right? Like, they have that path to success. They're getting all the messages, but there's a fear in there that maybe they aren't worthy, or they aren't good enough, or whatever it is. Or maybe they're just scared to take the jump. It can be scary to start something, or to start something new, or even to change direction completely, right? But if we're getting those messages towards that, or if we're having those emotions or those feelings towards it in some way, that's something that's coming directly from your higher self, or coming directly from Spirit. And I feel like Spirit is saying, hey, really listen, because this could be the path that is going to bring you that ultimate happiness that you've been desiring and seeking. And I love this energy. And especially if it does have to do with relationships in some way, right? Especially with that Eight of Wands coming through, because again, that could, it can sometimes represent Cupid's arrow, but the healing that sacral chakra, healing this, where in your life did you feel unsafe, or where did you feel that you couldn't be vulnerable, or where, who made you feel like this? Like, it's basically, it's basically saying here, do the healing, because things are about to change. This Nine of Cups is trying to come through, and we have this strategy. Spirit is giving you a strategy, and it almost feels like you have a strategy of where you want to go, but there might be just a little hurdle, right? There might be just a little hurdle that you have to get through, or that you have to release, or you have to heal in order to gain that full abundance that you've been seeking. All right. So let's take a look at maybe possibly some shadow work that needs to happen, or things that Spirit wants you to focus on at this time. Let's get some energy here. I love these cards because it's really saying, what you want is within your grasp. It's right there. But, are you going to do the work that's needed to get it, right? And again, I do feel that for most of you, it's just a little matter of taking maybe perhaps one step towards it. Just that one little step, right? All right, yeah. Can't make this up, guys, right? Inner child. There needs to be some inner child healing going on here. That's what I really get. And again, whatever it is, whatever made you feel that, unsafe, or that you couldn't be vulnerable, or, where you were maybe just scared to go ahead. I feel like for some of you, let's say, for instance, you wanted to start a YouTube channel, maybe you're scared of being in the public, but this is something that you really feel drawn to do so, and you have so many ideas and all of this stuff. But you have these little fears, like, what if they reject me? No, what if nobody watches? What if nobody, all of those fears. And it's like, okay, release that. Do the healing that is necessary in order to move forward. Or if it's a relationship, maybe perhaps you're seeking a new relationship, or you're, seeking a relationship, or you want to deepen your commitment, but in the past you've been really hurt, or you've been, there's been some especially, it could be, again, sexual type of energy, that with that sacral chakra coming through, maybe there's some sort of issue, right? But in order to really gain the deep commitment that you're seeking within a relationship of some sort, you may have to do some inner healing first. And again, I don't feel that, I literally keep hearing one more step. It's like one more step. Just allow yourself to go a little bit deeper. Do this healing that's coming through. We also have self-sabotage. Yeah. I really get this. Okay. It's like this energy of distraction, right? This energy of distraction. It's like, I know I should do this, but I'm distracted with that. Or I think I'm doing the healing, but really I'm watching YouTube videos on healing, but I'm not doing the healing, right? Does that make sense? Do you see what I'm saying? So this self-sabotage, I do feel that for some of you, you may get into a place where you have that commitment, or, this relationship is going very strong or very deep, and all of a sudden you get a sense of fear. Can I commit to this? Oh, I don't know if I can, because I was hurt in the past. And it feels like for some of you may sabotage relationships simply because, again, of some sort of old energy that just keeps coming through. So the healing needs to happen. Or for those of you that are seeking a relationship, sometimes we can get into a place where instead of doing the healing and coming from a relaxed energy, okay, we might be pushing somebody into a deeper relationship simply because of the fact that we don't want to lose them, or we're scared that they are not going to commit to us. So we tend to, do the things that could sabotage a relationship instead of just coming from this place of feeling, I'm relaxed. It is what it is. It's going to happen if it's meant to be, that kind of thing, right? So this is the energy that keeps coming through. We also have, how teachable are you? So I do feel that for some of you, this isn't the first time in this rodeo, right? Like, this might be something that has repeated itself before. And again, it needs to be healed in order for the energy to be released and to be able to just move on, just accept what it is and move forward. All right. That, how teachable are you? Because I feel like Spirit, first thing I heard literally is I really heard from Spirit, we don't want to keep doing this either. Like, you're getting the messages, we're sending them to you, but are you hearing us? Are you hearing what Spirit has to say? And I feel like for some of you, you might be getting into this place where, Spirit is going to create the energy for release, whether you like it or not. But you don't want to be in that place where it's, not forced upon, I guess that's kind of the wrong word, but it's like that tower moment, okay? Like, where things just sort of crumble so that you have to build that new foundation, right? And that's what I'm getting with this energy. Spirit saying, look, do the work that's needed, that's necessary. Amazing, beautiful things are trying to come towards you. Allow us to bring them to you. Be accepting of them. But you also have to be in this place where you're not going to sabotage it, okay? Don't be scared. Don't worry about being vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be, have a little bit of fear, but move yourself past that and get going. Get to where it is that you want. Go for what it is that you're desiring. So let's get a closing message from Spirit, and then we're going to be going straight into relationships and see what's coming through with relationships. Okay, closing message from Spirit. Sharing. Okay, there is giving and receiving is giving. So what I'm getting here is, again, it has to do with vulnerability. I feel like for some of you, maybe, you're scared to receive, you're scared to give simply because of past energy. Maybe you gave too much more gave so much more in the past. Well, that's obviously not probably a balanced relationship. So instead of taking it as, well, they just took everything from me, or they did this, or I gave and gave and gave and gave, it's sort of teaching us, okay, look at, be in this place where it's okay to give, but just make sure that you're giving from a place where you're not giving too much of yourself, like where you're losing that part of yourself in order to appease or to please somebody else, right? If it's not making you happy by giving, why are you keep giving? But you also have to learn how to receive. So a lot of people, we do get into that place where we're scared to receive because we feel that maybe people have ulterior motives, or we're just not used to receiving. We're not in that place of being able to receive. And again, this could stem even from childhood in some way. So I do feel like Spirit is saying to you, look at, again, this message is coming through. We're sending you messages. We're sending you the guidance that you need. We're trying to help you clear up, those energies that have been holding you back in the past. So open up that crown chakra and really listen to what's coming through. All right. So let's get some, let's take a look at relationships and see what's coming in. Relationships for Capricorn. All right, these ones wanted to come, and I am going to take them. All right, first card coming through, we have the Beaver. Things work against you, but persistence pays off. New things on the horizon, right? By determination, repetition, making dreams come true. Literally, this kind of just summed up that whole general reading, right? Like it could be that energy where you feel that things are working against you, or you feel like, why should I try this? It never works out, whatever this is. But I do feel that again, that persistence pays off. Like, keep going for it. You're getting the messages that you need. We also have the Church. So it talks about, tradition, right? It also talks about marriage. It also talks about, your belief system. And where is your belief system? And that might be something that you have to take a look at, especially within that sacral chakra, okay? Do you believe, that you can be vulnerable? Do you believe that you can be worthy? I really feel like these are, something is trying to send a message to you in some way. But we also have here, head of the pack, successful, competition, drive, get it done, the alpha male, persist, the will to win. So this is like the Six of Wands energy type of coming through here. It really talks about victory, success, right? But we also have the Queen of Air. So we've got the Aquarius card coming through. And this talks about independent. Sometimes these people can be detached, right? A little bit detached. This could be somebody, whether it's queen or, whether it's male or masculine or feminine energy. This could have to do with an actual Aquarius within your life. But what I'm getting here, guys, is it feels as though we're going to get some clarification on this, but I feel like you're sort of in this place. I keep getting push and pull. I feel like this is more like the Chariot card, okay? The Chariot card, where we have to go forward in a balanced way, all right? We have to go forward. If something is off with the, if, let's say, one of the dogs decided to stop, what's going to happen? It's not going to move forward, right? We have to come from a balanced position. So when we're talking about relationships here, I feel like for you, in particular, it feels as though there needs to be a balance of some sort within a relationship. I am kind of getting here that for some of you, it may be coming down to where you need to speak up and be that Queen of Air, all right? That Queen of Air, where they come in and they say, look at, they are very assertive. They're very assertive people. And it might be coming down to this, like, especially if you're not receiving, or if you've been the one that's been giving, and you're not receiving. Now, this could have to do with a current relationship, or it could possibly have to do with things that you need to take a look at in order to receive a relationship, okay? But let's say your person isn't putting in the energy that they need to put in. It might be time for you to speak up, right? Might be time for you to say, look, this has to be more balanced, Or, you know, maybe it's time to just take a step back and go, okay, you know, this relationship is not in a balanced position at this moment. This needs to change. Something needs to happen here. All right. But let's get some clarification. I do feel that for some of you too, especially for those that are seeking a relationship, it does feel like things, you know, new things on the horizon. It does feel like there could be a new energy coming through. This could be a person, or it could be a maybe a change within some sort of energy. You know, with that Queen of Air, she's also very honest, right? She's a very honest person. Says it as it is. So I'm getting here that might be time for you to be very honest with yourself about what it is that you're seeking within a relationship. And again, you know, start seeking a relationship that is going to have that sense of balance in it. And I do feel that for some of you, you might not be seeking, you know, you might not be receiving that balance right at this moment, okay? Or past relationships haven't had that balance for some reason. We actually have date here. Meeting someone new. Again, we have new, so there might be some new person that's coming in, or again, it could be a change within the energy of a current relationship, right? Addiction. And we have the dragonfly, right? Being lighthearted, finding things out, things coming to light, adapting. And again, we have the healing card. When we have the addiction card, what I'm getting here is sort of a similar energy of before. So I mean, for some of you, this could be an actual addiction in some sense. But what I'm also receiving here, it almost feels as like when we're heading towards something, it feels like a repeated pattern, right? With that addiction. There's like a blockage in there that's preventing us from accepting what it is that we truly deserve, what it is that, you know, we truly are desiring within our lives. And we might be in that place where we're like, okay, this is what I really want, but maybe I don't deserve it. Or this is what I really want, but I keep dating losers, you know, or whatever it is. You know, I'm also getting here, I'm going to be honest with you guys. One of the things that I'm hearing within this is take your time. And I feel that for some of you, you haven't taken your time, or you have wasted time with a particular person. Like it's almost as though you knew that it wasn't really going anywhere. Okay, this person wasn't putting the energy towards a relationship that you were desiring or that you felt that you deserved or whatever it is. And instead of sort of just dropping that relationship and saying, okay, sayonara, right? Off you go. You kind of stuck onto it. But what happened within that energy is it kind of gave you feelings of lower self-worth, right? It presented that to you simply because this person wasn't returning that energy. And it's like, well, how could somebody, you know, not return the energy when I'm giving them so much love? Why are they behaving like this when I'm doing everything that I can for them? Right? I'm really getting that energy for some of you. So again, take this as it, you know, as it's appearing, but it almost feels like it was like an addiction. Like I'm going to go into this relationship, you know, I'm going to give it my all. And then you just get disappointed. You get disappointed because the person wasn't, you know, in that place to return the energy to you. And I feel like this is almost a rebirth for some of you. Okay. A rebirth to moving forward, to bringing somebody new in, or again changing the energy, because sometimes even within a current energy, if we stop just giving, right, they're going to say, well, what the heck, you were giving to me last week. Yes, but this needs to be balanced. And now you're giving them that option. Hey, look, you can either return the balance, you know, or make this a balanced relationship, or off you go, right? And many times that person recognizes the fact that, yeah, you were giving, and they will want to return it. But, you know, it's kind of like if you're getting showered with gifts all the time, you don't really complain, right? You don't feel like, you know, especially if the person's not saying anything about it, maybe you just think that they enjoy giving. So you just allow them to keep giving. And that's where that Queen of Wands has to come in, or that Queen of Swords comes in, right? That Queen of Swords is coming in because it's like time to be honest. It's time to be upfront about the relationship in some way, or a relationship, or not allowing yourself to get caught up into the energy of a past relationship. All right. I just want one more card for Capricorn. It's too many. One more card. There we go. Yeah, codependency. We also have here release your ex. So again, you know, going back into the energy of what we had talked about before, I do feel that for some of you, there is, you know, somebody from the past, maybe several people from the past. This even could be just your own self-doubt in regards to people that just really weren't worthy of your attention, right? They weren't worthy to have you around. They weren't worthy of the things that you were offering or giving to them. And it's time to release that. We have this codependency. And it's interesting because we have addiction, right? And it says addictions are affecting your romantic life. So this could have to do with an actual, you know, physical addiction in some way, whether it's you or possibly somebody else, okay? If somebody's in a place of addiction, they're not going to be able to give you the energy that you are desiring. They're not going to, because they're not coming from a fully functional state of mind, right? If it's, you know, if they're doing something that, you know, is altering themselves on a regular basis, how can they be open and honest with you? It's coming from a place that they're, you know, they're bearing, right? Something. They're burying something underneath. Now, again, you know, the addiction, that maybe that has to do with you. Only you can make that determination. But I am getting, in regards to addictions, it does feel that, you know, it's like being addicted to love. Like, I just want love in my life, but then we're willing to settle for, you know, whatever kind of comes along, and we're not giving it our full attention. Like, we're not giving what it is that we're truly desiring our full attention. We're just sort of settling for whatever is there, right? Whether it's attention, a person, whatever. And that can create this codependency. It can create this codependency of like, well, you know, I might not be the happiest, but, you know, maybe there's nobody else out there. Yeah, there's always somebody else out there. There's 9 billion people on the earth, right? There's other people out there. So I feel like this is what Spirit is saying to you. It's like you have to release some sort of addiction or codependency. And again, working on that sacral chakra. Sometimes we're in a place where we don't feel worthy, and so we do allow ourselves to settle or allow ourselves to just accept, you know, things that they are, without the realization that things could be just so much better, right? We also have let your friends help you. So ask for and accept support from others. So it's interesting. I do feel that for some of you, this could actually have to do with, you know, possibly a physical friendship. But we also did have that energy coming in from Archangel Metatron where, you know, he's saying, I'm right here. I am channeling those messages to you. Let me help guide you. Let me be here for you. I want to help you within this energy. And I feel like for many of you, those messages are coming in. And again, it could have to do with, you know, maybe you need to let your friends help you. Maybe it's time to, you know, be vulnerable with your friends, or maybe perhaps, you know, be vulnerable with yourself and Spirit and let these messages come through. So let's see what other messages are happening here. Other messages for Capricorn. Other messages for Capricorn regarding relationships. And we want one more message for Capricorn. One more message for Capricorn. All right. Interesting, because that card actually popped out earlier and I put it back because it came in with another card. All right. So first card coming through. Well, we do have the no need to worry. All right. We also have here improving your health. Yes. You know what I'm getting with this energy here? I feel like if you were asking a question or wondering about a particular person, whatever the question was in regard to that particular person, the answer is yes. But I am getting here when it talks about the no need to worry. I do feel that for some of you, you may be worried about taking that step forward or embodying that Queen of Swords energy where it's, it's just honesty, being straight up, being, very honest about what it is that you're seeking, what it is that you want from another person, maybe perhaps being just very vocal with the person themselves in some way, letting them know what it is that, you're needing from this relationship. And it is talking about improving health. So what I'm getting with that improving health, it feels like the addiction, whatever it is, can be released. Okay, it can be released, that you don't need to worry about this. It just feels like accept the messages that Metatron is bringing through to you, that Spirit is bringing through. Start really listening, and you're going to see a lot of changes coming through. Remember, we had that Nine of Cups energy, so it's like, what do you want, to receive? You're going to have it. You just have to go through this process. All right. Cards coming through this. We also have the Queen of Wands coming through. Beautiful energy. We have the Judgment card. Yeah, this is time to really go into ourselves. And we have the Three of Pentacles. It's almost as though we're going into a collaboration with Spirit, or maybe even perhaps another person, right? When this Judgment card comes through, it's time for some deep introspection. It's time for us to really look at going into the core of who we are, right? And releasing some of that old energy, or really accepting things as they are at this current time. We have this Queen of Wands coming through, so she's very fiery. She's in a place of confidence, and I really feel like Spirit is saying to you, the confidence that you're seeking, the confidence that you're desiring is there, that you don't need to settle, that you can be in a collaboration possibly with somebody. Okay, and when I say possibly, I mean a collaboration. It might be that you're collaborating possibly with this person in order to increase the relationship, to deepen the relationship, or it could be a collaboration with Spirit in order to bring through the person that it is that you seek and desire in some way. But there does need to be some inner healing that needs to happen as well first. All right. So I truly hope that this has helped, Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to click subscribe and the notification. Please click the like button if this resonated with you, because it does help with the YouTube algorithm. Have a great week. Take care and see you next time.